Hi everyone! Today we're going to be making a beaded book page bracelet using some recycled book pages and some string. It's actually quite easy to do and it just requires a couple easy tools. So first thing in your kit is that you're going to see that you have a lot of strips of paper. You may or may not need all of them depending on the size of the bracelet that you're creating. And one of the optional parts of creating this bracelet is whether you want colored beads or not. So the one that I just showed you, those are not colored beads, but you can easily color the pages with a colored pencil. So you can alternate colors, you can use more than two colors, whatever you'd like. But if you decide to color, you're only going to color like the last inch and a half. And you can color it however you'd like. You can color it, darkly or lightly, whatever suits you. You just don't want to rip your page. And when you're done, you'll have book pages that look like this. I don't know if you can see those, but I have two greens and two blues. So today my bracelet's going to be alternating colors between blue and green. So let's make some beads. So in your kit, you're going to have a straw, and you're going to have your pieces of paper, and you're going to have a toothpick with some glue. So if you decide to do the colored pages, you want to make sure that you can actually see the colored part when your bead is complete. So for me, the way I'm going to roll is that the blue part's going to be at the very, very end of what I'm working on. And I just need to start rolling. Okay, so your idea here is to roll as tightly as possible to create a nice looking bead. And you just twist as best you can and try to keep it going in the right direction here. But when you're all done, the blue part should be on the outside. You slide off your bead and just push it together a little bit with your fingers, and it's going to create a nice pulled together bead. And you just need to now glue this little edge here with some glue. Just a couple little dots and hold it together. So just a few seconds. Okay, and your bead is done. So very quickly and easily, probably in 15 or 20 minutes, you'll be able to create a number of beads that look like this. Once you have all of your beads, it might be useful to line them all up so you see how many you've created and how long it'll be. You should use a ruler at this point to see what is the diameter of your wrist, and then add an inch or two just to provide some extra space so that the bracelet can easily get on your wrist and off. The string is a little stretchy, but it does still need to get over your knuckles and such. So give yourself a little extra room and some extra beads. You should have plenty of supplies. Okay, so now we have this cool stretchy string here, and we need to start threading on our beads. So for example, if you can see, I have a green-blue pattern going on, and so I've already laid that out. So the first step is just to take my first bead and slide it on and put it to the very middle of my string. So we have a lot of string here, so we have to find the middle. So here we are with the first bead in the middle. Now with my string, I now need to put the green bead, which is my second bead, on in the next rotation here. So here where I'm threading the green bead and sliding it the whole way down to the center where my first bead is. But in order to make them line up next to each other, I now need this string to loop around and go through the green bead. So basically, the second bead will need two strings going through it, one from the left and one from the right. And it'll lock it in place then on top of the blue bead. So I'm just pulling. Okay, there we have two beads locked together. So now I'm ready to do the third bead. I'm finally on my last bead, and as long as you've been pulling it tightly, you'll have this nice long caterpillar thing, and you'll be able to gauge as you go whether it's long enough for your own wrist. That's why you have plenty of bead making supplies so that you can make as many beads as you need. So the last one I'm ready to thread through. All right, so I'm out of beads, but now I need to connect the beginning with the end so that we make a nice circle. So what needs to happen now is that I need to use my 2 strings here to thread through the very first bead that I had. Okay, so just doing the exact same thing that we were doing. I am now going to go 1 string through the right and 1 string through the left. Okay, so that has now brought them together. And I was doing a green-blue pattern, so I did finish, the last bead was green and the first bead was blue, but you can do your own thing. Okay, so now for strength purposes, so you can kind of see here it's coming apart a little bit, the green one, which is that last one. So as long as I'm pulling them tight together, I'm now going to use my string to do a couple strengthening stitches. So now going through the second bead that I strung originally, I'm going to do a left-right string maneuver here. Okay, so that really pulls them together. And one more, I'm going to go through the third bead. As long as you have enough string, I recommend going through the third bead as well. Okay, so we definitely have pulled together the very last bead with the very first bead, and we now have done a couple extra stitches just to make sure they are pulled together. Okay, now using whichever string you'd like to, just thread through the fourth bead one direction so that you have both of the strings on the same side. So here I am with my strings on the same side of the bead, and now I just need to tie some really tight knots. So I recommend tying this like a double knot, but doing it at least 3 times. So 1, 2. Try to get it as close as possible to the beads so that you won't see the knot. And you're using clear string, so it's really easy to hide these sort of things. Okay, so technically I am now done. I can use a dab of glue right on the end of the knot itself, and that will just kind of cement the knot in place, and I can trim my extra strings here, but I can very easily now slide this on and it is secure. So you have now made a paper bracelet using beads that you created yourself using recycled book pages. Congratulations!